Tang Abakwa Talk Sports Part 2 EPL 2025 review. As I said earlier, Liverpool were champions. Arsenal were second once again, or as usual. Manchester United were almost relegated. Chelsea made top four. Voices, I greet you, Kwankataka and Dan Eddy. You're
Hello,
welcome.
Balak. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to be back here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just talking about most improved players, teams, flops, and all that stuff. Now we'll continue our season. Do you guys have anything to say before we continue?
Well, fellow viewers, nice listening to us again. I always urge you, please share about our Talk Sport, good vibes in here. It's just a common place where we just chat about soccer. So thank you guys for supporting this platform.
Amen. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, Taka, every year we complain about VAR.
Yeah.
Every year we complain about officiating. That's part of the game. We have to complain why this decision went this way, what happened, blah, 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 blah. The EPL overall officiating 2024-2025. Were you pleased or were you satisfied, or how will you rate the officiating as well as VAR decisions?
Man, you would think our Rob coming in, being in charge, experience our Rob, do you think he will make the system better? But it's just been going down. Like I don't know what's happening with the ref association. I don't know what's going on, but I was disappointed this year with the quality of decisions that was happening in the ref. Like especially how again VAR is taking center stage. Like more than 100 overturns and then painfully long reviews. Like the line drawing, all that stuff, all the line, it just takes away from the game. And it's something that I thought that maybe, they will take care of it this year. But again, it was really poor. It was really poor. I think if I'm to rate it, 6 on 10. 6 on
Okay.
10. 6 on 10 was my
They give them
rating.
a pass.
I give them a pass, because they did make some
They made some good decisions.
they made good decisions. Yes, it took longer,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, but they still made a good decision. I wish at the end of it, that's where one the right decisions be made. But it's just a few tweaks here and there, better training. I think the refs need overall training. They need to be retrained because something has to be done in terms of the training for the refs. But yeah, 6 on 10 for me overall.
Dameo, how will you rate it? The officiating and VAR decisions.
So it's kind of an intriguing one, and in the sense that yes, it took long for the reviews, but that helped actually reduce the amount of VAR errors. I think I was reading it, and when they did their summary at the end of the season, it stated that the VAR errors went down by 50%.
Oh, okay.
That was actually their
Nice.
justification based on the time that it takes, and
Long
then
reviews.
the long reviews, because they wanted to make sure that, I think that's one of how Webster, he wanted to make sure that the decisions are correct. Last year was just horrible. Like the amount of errors that VR was making last year, there was absolutely no reason for us to have VR, to be honest,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah.
was plain useless to me. So this year they took time. The decision took time, but the amount of errors significantly reduced. You could see that the refs had the time to actually do the analysis, and particularly those on-field decisions. Though we already knew, because it was kind of when there was a penalty that was given and then the referee was called to the monitor, we all knew that the decision is going to be a reversal. When
Yes.
the
Yeah.
penalty was not given and the referee was called to a monitor, we all knew that the penalty was going to be given. So at that point in time, that weight game was no longer there, because we all knew exactly that each time that the referee was called to the monitor, it was for them to revert the on-field decision. I don't know if you guys if you guys noticed that, but
Yeah,
that was my take.
I did notice
Yeah.
that a couple of times. Yeah, now
Yeah.
game week 38, Aston Villa versus Manchester, there was a major decision, VAR
Mhm.
decision. I don't know, you guys are Manchester fans, so I want you guys to throw more light on that. That VAR decision, I think, cost Aston Villa the Champions League spot. They had a red card. They also, I think, they had a penalty. No, Dami, I want you to talk on that. You watched that game, so
Yeah.
please throw us more light on that and be as honest as possible.
Oh no, of course, you know me. I will always be straightforward, right?
Yeah.
I There's one thing, there's always an emotional side of things for people when they make analysis as well as being objective. We either go by the rules of the books, right?
Yeah.
Or we go with subjective decisions where we put a lot of emotions. And I think most people who criticize that decision had a lot of the subjective aspect because they were looking at Villa's performance. But in a general perspective, if we were to say, let's blind our eyes and present this decision, it was a record, right? If you take the emotional aspect of it in terms of Villa being possibly qualifying for the Champions League and stuff, if you take all of that out, it was a record. But if you look at, say, okay, as a referee, you look at this team, what they've done for the season, did he have that ability to be subjective in terms of the decision? Maybe it couldn't have been a record. But in terms of the football rules, I will say yes, I will stick with the record. Doesn't matter whether it was Manchester United or what, just going by the rules.
Okay, before you come in, can you explain what happened in a few words?
Well, I personally did not watch the game live. That's the one United game
Did you
that
watch
I
that game?
but I actually reviewed. I watched the highlights and I reviewed the incident.
Okay.
Right, it was
Yeah.
goalkeeper. It was Martinez. Right.
Yeah.
Amy Martinez. So he went way out of his line.
Yeah.
And then committed the foul. Now, the justification that I see people trying to give was that the defender was there, but he, as a goalkeeper, the defender is totally out of the equation. Yeah, once if he was a defender, if it was a five-shot that committed that foul at that level, there could have been a condition that the other defender would have recovered. But the goalkeeper, the moment you're out of your line and you commit that foul, is a record based on the rule.
So you're saying he was the last man?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So Taka, when you're saying yes, are you agreeing to what Mayor is saying? And Mayor, in everything said, are you saying the VAR decision that day was right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Keeping emotions aside and everything, applying the rules by the books, yes, they apply the rule to the latter.
Yes.
Taka, yeah. So do you have anything to say, or you just want to say yes?
Yes. No, I agree. Yes. Because I think that United have had a lot of luck with penalties this year, especially in the European in the Europa League. So people are going to accuse all United to do something fishy, but that Martinez record was a record. And Daniel was like, say, oh, you know what? The emotions aside, people are cheering on for Aston Villa to get that last spot, but it was a record. Plain and simple. As a goalkeeper, Martinez, you should know better. You can't commit a foul out of your box, last man.
Because I think Aston Villa said they will be filing a complaint to the referee commission of EPL just to see that something has to be done. It costs them a lot of money. If something costs you the Champions League, you know what it means to the club. So it was a debatable decision. Maybe you're saying something.
Again, it's a subjective. When they say it costs them a lot of money, it doesn't mean that if they were 10 down, or they were 11-11, they would have won. They cannot actually, that cannot go in the court of law, right? Yes, there was that opportunity for them to play, but you cannot say that that red card cost you the game. No, that's subjective.
A draw was good for them because Newcastle was losing. Yeah, a draw was good for them because Newcastle was losing. Anyways, I'm just talking on behalf of the Aston Villa fans at the end of the day, right? So we're having to talk about decisions like this. That mayor has said the decision was good. If you want to go by the books, which at the end of the day, we want to go by the books, let's keep sentiments and other things aside. Let's go by the books. Now, let's go to the teams of the season. This is where the story gets tougher. Now, player of the season. Were you guys pleased with the player of the season? We all know, I think Mohamed Salah won it. No brainer. Was that an easy choice?
Yep. Yeah, today, yes, man, today. Yep. Salah, man, they have lost some players, club leaving, they needed a leader to really, get them going. His game had to change a little bit, a bit more of playmaker. He said a lot of game. Easy for the kind of season it was. Yes, Salah was easy choice.
Yeah.
Yes, I will also agree with the fact that he was a player of the season for me. I would have sneaking in Henson right there for me. For him being 20 years old and what he did for the Premier League, of course, I know that I don't want to vote a defender of that magnitude. But to be honest with you, he deserved to be classified. The last time I checked, I think he was included in the team of the season. But that's how good he was in my eyes.
Okay. And the young player of the season. They still went to another Liverpool.
Yep.
Yeah, it went to Ryan, but that one I would dispute it every day, every now. Dean deserve that young player of the season more than Ryan. If you put the two of them, there was a little bit of a gap in comparison.
Um,
I know Taka is kind of like that was my most improved
so
player.
Yeah, yeah.
I know Ryan had an amazing season.
Yeah.
But honestly, Cancelo had a good season, a great season. Taka, why are you shaking your head?
Shit.
Is it
Who is
because
that?
Chelsea didn't win the league, or are you saying
You
Cancelo did
mean
not have a good?
Cancelo?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he means Cancelo, yeah.
Oh, but
Yeah,
the
and
Cancelo had a good
and
season.
Cancelo was not even nominated for the young player of the season, which is
Cancelo had a good
outrageous.
season, but not as compared to the season that he had in Brighton.
yes, that's the thing. He
That's
has
the
not,
thing, because
that's the
his
thing.
level of performance dropped.
Yeah,
Dropped.
no, but when Cancelo had a good season had a great season in Brighton.
Yeah,
Then
Yeah,
came to Chelsea last year, wasn't had an did not have a good season.
awful
yeah.
Some
season.
people
Yeah,
even said he flopped.
They flopped,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Then this year, Cancelo came back to the Cancelo. And honestly, now we'll come to the players of the season. When I look at Gravenberch and I look at that Liverpool midfield of Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai, the
Mhm.
three of them all complement each other. It's easy. But when you look at the Chelsea midfield, it was all Cancelo. Look at it. Who does he play with? Yeah, yeah.
But
No, who does he play with? Do you want to call Enzo Fernandez?
I mean, Enzo is a
uh,
big. He said
uh,
classifying that he flopped.
Oh, he flopped, right?
Maybe that's why you know
No,
he's
I'm not saying Enzo flopped. I'm just saying if you look at the Chelsea midfield, I'm just trying to make a case for Cancelo. I think he had an excellent season, and I think he's one of those underrated footballers because he does the jobs that will not show on the stat sheet. He doesn't have the numbers, the goal, the assist, and other stuff. But if you look at the all-round game, just like the Szoboszlai for Liverpool had a great season, and I can also
Yeah.
say the same thing for McAllister. McAllister was like really, really
No,
good.
McAllister was good.
Yeah, so that Liverpool midfield was so good, and I think it should cancel each other out. But
You
consider
know,
when you look at the Chelsea midfield, who they consider play with?
again, like I said, because I've watched Cancelo play for Brighton, right?
Yeah.
And the football that he played there, I think he hasn't. Yeah, he had a good season this year, but he hasn't played that ball that he played in Brighton at all.
Yeah.
he didn't play enough to warrant player of the year, young player
Oh,
of
he
the year,
didn't
I'm
play enough
saying.
to warrant player. What about
Yeah.
nominee?
Nominee, but not top
Okay, let me
three.
ask you a question. I'm just gonna put this up. Yes, yeah. Cole Palmer was nominated for Young Player of the Year. Casido was not nominated. They are both under 23. Who had a better season? Let's be honest. You
Yeah,
in our
yeah.
previous episode, you guys all just called Cole Palmer to flop.
Yeah.
Who had a
No,
better
no,
season?
no, 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 because Kopama all about impact and goals, right? When those ones dries up, what else in this game? So no, Caicedo actually had a better season than Kopama.
But yeah,
That I
he had
agree.
a good season. He had a
Yeah,
good season.
but I don't,
But
man, I don't
again,
think
like I
Caicedo.
said, it has to do with to me, and I think that's what might have affected Cancelo is because him coming to Chelsea has raised the bar to a different level, right? And people are measuring you based on that bar, just like we are saying that Mo Salah. I wouldn't have Liverpool if Mo Salah scored 32 goals. I wouldn't have rated him as the best player in the season, but because he raised that bar, and that's the reason why I rate him as the best player, right? Cancelo hasn't done that. Meaning that the football that he played this season, he has already played that football before.
He tried though. He's given assist now in Chelsea. Like he's giving like defense
You
putting.
guys are only looking for
No,
the
no,
corner.
I see the game. No, see, I see the game they're talking about, but I've not seen it consistent enough.
Mhm.
The way Dean did in Dortmund, I don't see consistent enough for him to enter
You are
that top
looking
three.
for numbers. The
No,
numbers are so appetizing. I'm talking about the eye test. Like,
yes,
besides the fact that I'm calling Salah the best player, I'm not looking at Salah's numbers. I'm looking at how he
Overall,
contributed.
he
If
yeah.
changed.
Salah, how he got the
Yes,
numbers.
yes.
Yes,
His game him changed. His game kind
yes,
of took a bit.
yes.
Salah the way, yeah, he had to
Yeah.
step up differently for the team.
Taka, Taka, my analysis of Cancelo when he was in Brighton was not the numbers.
Mm.
It's the way he breaks play. And we have one person in this panel who plays that kind of ball that I watch Cancelo play, who breaks the play. Breaks the play. I know that he knows how to give long passes, right? I've
Yeah.
played with him. But when you play with Balak, he knows how to break play, though sometimes he does it roughly. Let me tell the audience who have not watched him play. Right.
Yeah.
And I love that player who can smell the danger,
Yeah.
right?
Gravenberch.
Yeah, we can smell the danger. Cancelo plays that very well, but this year he has not elevated to what he did with Brighton. Yeah, and that's just my point. Now, any there we can emphasize much on that.
Okay, so Cancelo and Chelsea fans, they are expecting more from you. You've set the bar so high in Brighton. They are expecting you to hit the N'Golo Kante levels. You have to be them. If you're not hitting N'Golo Kante levels, you're doing nothing.
No,
But
but to hit N'Golo Kante level, I don't think maybe we might not have another player like N'Golo Kante, to be honest. If we are really honest, to have that all-rounded player who can sniff that danger, do what N'Golo Kante did within that short period of time, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's time for the team of the season. The way they've rejected Cancelo, I don't think they have him in their team of the season.
He's not making it,
Which is
man.
kind of biased to me. But let's go. Taka, your team of the season. Let's go first. How are you playing? Is it 3-4-3? Is it 4-4-2? Who is in goal? Who is up front? Who is playing where? Like, let us hear your team of the season.
Yeah, so I'll go with 4-3-3.
Yeah, 4-3-3.
I'll go 4-3-3. My goalkeeper is Cells in Forest.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, Cells was like, my goodness, this is that Cells, my goalkeeper there.
Oh, Nana.
To be fair, he had a better season last year, though, but no. I was looking at Alisson too as well, but no, Cells number one. That's my best.
Cells was just out of. He didn't have a competition. That's why I got him.
Defense, I will go with Saliba.
Yeah.
Right? Saliba had a strong season. Of course, I'll go with Van Dijk. I know it's a very safe answer, but I'll go with Van Dijk. He had a very strong season to the defense.
Yeah.
If I don't mention Dean, oh my God, Daniel will kill me. So Dean for sure in Bournemouth in that defense.
Yeah.
And Kekes.
And Kekes.
I know Kekes don't get his flowers, but Kekes, he was amazing for that team's play. Kekes, yes, as fullback.
Okay, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. Just go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So that's my back four. That's my back four. That's my back four.
So you say your back four is Saliba, Van Dijk, Kekes, and Dean.
And Dean, right. For midfield, of course, Gravenberch. I go Gravenberch.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot of choices in midfield there. It's very tricky. Gravenberch, the next one is Rice.
You're thinking Rice.
I'm thinking Rice. I'm thinking Rice. I'm thinking Rice. I'm thinking Rice. I'm thinking Rice. And
Are you taking Rice because you love to eat the rice, or you're taking Rice because rice?
No, I think Rice stepped up, man. I think Rice stepped up. I think with the right striker, with the right goals in that team could have gone. That's not could have won the league. I think Rice stepped up. I was thinking that Rice will have a hard time adjusting, but he really stepped up in Arsenal. Like, it became one of the leaders in such a short time of the team. Yeah.
No, you just started Rice. You said Rice and
Rice, Gravenberch, and
4-3-3
and Mbeumo. I squeezed Mbeumo in that three.
You said Rice,
Gravenberch, and Mbeumo.
Rice, Gravenberch, and Mbeumo. Okay.
Yes,
okay.
That's my three in the midfield.
Yeah.
And then in my attack, my last three attack is Salah.
Yeah.
Isaac.
Yeah.
And then last one, I could be biased too. Wood.
Yeah.
Right. Those are my three. So Wood was my last choice in my front three attack. So that's my team.
And who is the manager?
My manager. Oof, I didn't think about manager. My manager will be Nuno. Nuno.
So on top, just to reiterate that you had Chris Wood, Salah, and
Isaac.
And Isaac.
Yes, top three.
That team looks solid, right? But I might have different thoughts after Dan says what he has to say.
So I'm going to go from a tactical perspective with a little bit of controversy.
Yeah. This is what we're looking for right now. That's what I said this is gonna be.
Yeah. So my goalkeeper is Cells. That one, it's
okay.
But he talks about it. Then for the defense, I'm actually going to go with Dean and Milos.
Oh.
Milos.
Yeah.
Okay, center back.
Yes,
okay, center back pairing.
Yeah, from Bournemouth. Both of them from Bournemouth, right? Then Van Dijk in there. Now, I know Man City had a very bad season, but 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐭 had it really, really good. He was, I would say he was trying to put that Manchester City defense
Okay,
together.
just go. Yep, yep.
Yeah. So I'll put him there as one of my defenders.
So
Now,
your 4 defenders are Josko, Dean, Milo, and
Van Dijk.
Van Dijk. Okay, Milo,
Yes.
okay, yeah.
Now, in the midfield,
Yeah.
I'm going to bring Salah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
Yes. So I'm going to play Salah in the midfield, my midfield 3. So I'm using a 4-4-3. We get
4-3-3, 4-4-3.
4-3-3, sorry.
4-3-3.
yeah.
4-3-3. So I'm going to bring Salah in the midfield with Bruno
Okay.
Fernandes.
Okay.
And then Luis Diaz.
Oh, Luis Diaz.
Yes.
Wait, Bruno Fernandes and Luis Diaz.
Yes.
Okay.
You don't
all
have
right.
you don't have a DM.
You don't worry. We'll talk. I told you that I'm going to give you a tactical.
Yeah.
And the tactical
lineup.
lineup is without a DM.
Yeah.
Yes. Now the reason why I do that is because Bruno Guterres and Bruno Fernandes, both of them, like we talked. Remember we had that conversation, right?
Yeah.
They do a service to themselves because of how skilled they are.
Yeah.
Both of these guys can actually sit as DM. Though Bruno Fernandes is not his strongest point, but sorry, I was supposed to bring Bruno Guterres. Guimaraes from
Newcastle. Okay.
Newcastle, yeah.
So I had that little bit. So I would drop Bruno Fernandes there because he will sit down as a DM because he can play both roles, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll use Diaz and Mo Salah to cause the havoc. Then I'm going to go with a front 3. Are you ready for them?
Yeah. This is all ears. You have my ears.
Isak.
Yeah.
Chris Hood.
Yeah.
And Eze. There's no way we are talking about the Premiership team of the season without putting.
Yeah, that is I didn't have
Jesus Christ.
No Chelsea.
I know that there's no Chelsea player. Which one do you want?
No. You guys are shocking me. First things first. Let's start from the back. Let's start from the back. How can you guys do a Premier League team of the season without Munoz?
Munoz. Yeah.
Munoz?
Yeah. You know what? Yeah, that was tough for me too. I had KKS and Munoz, right?
Munoz. That means you guys are really going for the numbers.
No,
Munoz had a good season.
Everybody, we can add multiple names. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have a lot of different names when it comes to these players, but you only have a choice of 4.
Yeah.
It's based on the way you look at it, right?
Yeah.
You're a baller. You look at it from your perspective.
Saliba. I'm not picking Saliba over Munoz.
No, I did not pick Saliba. I did not.
Yeah, but I'm still coming to your list.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we see it differently. But I thought Munoz had a great season.
No, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah. That man, midfield. Taka, do you have anything to talk about that midfield? That man's midfield.
How do you call it? That type of a midfield that this guy usually uses to win crazy games, say Alex Ferguson.
Yeah.
That's why I say it was a tactical midfield. Champions League.
So you don't have Mbeumo.
I'm very surprised by that. That's the one surprise.
I don't have Mbeumo. I actually had Mbeumo, but I replaced Mbeumo with Eze.
I wouldn't.
Yeah. Now I'm praying Spurs should beat you to sign him.
I wouldn't. Eze was good, but Mbeumo was better.
Mbeumo was better.
The reason why Mbeumo was better than Eze, let's be honest. The reason why is because I'm biased towards Mbeumo. I have that bias towards him.
Yeah.
So I feel like my likeness to him could have clouded my judgment.
Yeah, okay.
Because to be fair, Eze was good, but it wasn't that great of a season.
Eze also had an injury season, like he stopped for a while.
We missed. It took a while for him to own it because Olise was the guy, right? So Olise used to work well together. When Olise left, you could tell that man.
And then it took him time to recover from
time. Yeah.
If you are putting Eze, I'm gonna shoot you another name. Matheus Cunha.
No, Cunha had a good season.
No, Cunha had a good season. But who can I replace though, Evans? Okay, maybe the Rice. But
how many people do you want to replace on the list?
But Cunha had a good season.
I'll just give you guys names because these are ballers. Yeah, you might want. You can always trade, right? You can.
What about Morgan?
Morgan Rogers? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. There's a lot of those names that you can throw in there. Right?
Morgan did good though. Morgan did good. Like I did not expect much from that kid, man. That kid really, really helped his own in that Aston Villa team. But I'll replace Rice with Cunha. Cunha for sure. Rice is out.
So Taka, you're gonna go now without a DM?
No, I have Gravenberg.
Okay, I have Gravenberg.
I have
Okay,
Gravenberg.
yeah.
I was about there. I have
Yeah.
Gravenberg. Rice is out. 𝐏𝐴𝐚𝐫 is in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You didn't think
Kuna.
about Cancelo in
Nah, man. Nah, I'm sorry. See, Elvis, I'm not having it. I'm not having
stop the
Cancelo.
Cancelo
So
slander.
he's trying to coin you to replace one person because he wants to see whether you can see.
No.
No, I'm not having it. Cancelo's okay, but nah. Let's see this season.
Taka, Taka, there's a lot of controversy on Dan's list.
And I told you guys now that my list is going to come with controversy.
Dan just put Bruno Fernandes,
Yeah.
his team of the season. The previous episode, Dan was calling Bruno Fernandes one of the flops of the season.
No, that was me.
Oh, yeah.
It was him.
Okay, it was Taka calling flop.
I said that I was close to putting Bruno Fernandes.
Yeah. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I was the one.
Yeah. So now Dan is trying to play Bruno Fernandes because as a DM, we will have Gravenberch, we have McAllister, we have Rice, we have
Caicedo,
we have this guy for this central midfielder for Nottingham Forest, the attacking mid, the guy Mansi was trying to get.
What's that?
The kid from Arsenal, he's supposed to be the captain when this guy's not on field, when Yates is not on the pitch. The captain for Nottingham Forest when Yates is not on the pitch.
What's his name?
More like KDB. Attacking mid.
Morgan Gibbs?
Morgan Gibbs.
Yeah.
That kid had a good season.
Yeah, good season. No, he's a good player. He's a good player too.
I'm thinking you guys. That's one of the midfielders.
Not good enough. Not good enough. He had a good season, but not good enough. I think in that team, when it talks to output, yes, Morgan Gibbs was good, but Elanga did more than him. That's why Elanga is the one getting the transfer balls than Morgan Gibbs. Morgan Gibbs was good playmaker wise. He does that in terms of pre-assist. He's a pre-assist kind of player. Like Odegaard.
You're only talking pre-assist because you are struggling to look at the numbers. The numbers can never define a game.
Even the impact though. Elanga was dangerous. Look at I've watched Nottingham Forest for a while though. I watched
Elanga carried them.
Elanga carried them to give another dimension to that game.
See, when I look at Nottingham Forest.
Yeah.
Based on, I'm gonna just my pure analysis.
Yeah.
I don't think the reason they almost made top 4 was because of the goals they scored. It was more about the defense.
Yeah.
When they scored, it was difficult for teams to break them down.
Yeah, that's right.
It was difficult for teams to break them down. So when you guys give credit to the numbers and you forget about the other part of the pitch, it's not really like we're judging it like the Gen Z football watchers. Or Gen Z football watchers. Let's not look at the numbers that this guy did this. The guys at the back did an amazing job.
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are calling Lascelles. Ena played a good job.
Yes.
If you look at the stat sheet, you won't see his name, but Ena had an amazing season.
Yep, no, I agree. Ena was my list too as well. Yeah. I replaced it with
there's
a defender called 𝐏𝐚𝐫𝐿, and then there's the other Latin guy that plays in defense. Those guys had great seasons. It was difficult to break them down. Liverpool tried, like
Milako,
but
I agree with you.
When we're discussing earlier on, right, where you talk about where you analyze Liverpool's midfield, right, how everybody complemented each other.
Yeah,
that was kind of what Nottingham Forest had as well.
Yeah,
each person was complicating. Then each player was complementing each other, right?
Yeah.
So it was difficult to see an exceptional player in the midst. Yeah, their goalkeeper was exceptional in terms of the fact that the number of saves that he made.
Yeah.
Right. It wasn't just that they had a strong defense and then he didn't concede multiple goals. There were opportunities where you could see that this team was about to score, but he saved them.
Yeah.
And that's why he was exceptional. But apart from that, it was a collective team, just like the Liverpool midfield that we talked about earlier on, where you can't really put a stand-up performance that you say he owned this team and he did that great. That's the reason why I will not select any of those guys.
I think I agree. It was more of a team effort. Yeah, but so they had so many good pieces.
Yeah, like
not one super piece.
Yeah, just like when you are correct, Taka. Like when I took the EPL, right? It was a collective effort.
Yeah. But I can do some tweaks. I think Rice and Saliba can go out. for some choices that you have mentioned. But yeah, I think
Okay, you think Muno should be in, right?
Muno should be in for Saliba.
No,
My team will beat Daniel's team any day.
That's what you think.
Any day.
But
You
honestly,
think
if I was to bet, I'll put my money on yours.
that's okay until you understand the tactical genius behind my
You
team.
have no DM. I
No
thought you wanted
balance.
to change your mind when you brought in Bruno Guimaraes. I was thinking,
Yeah.
okay, he actually wanted to play Guimaraes to give the team some stability.
And that's what I
Yeah.
was saying, that I can switch Bruno Fernandes to Guimaraes.
Yes.
So Bruno's out. So Fernandes out.
Yeah, Fernandes is out.
Officially
Yeah.
say he's out. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, no, officially, yeah, I have to
Officially say he's out.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so I'll switch Bruno Guimaraes to Fernandes just for that DM role.
Okay,
Yeah,
you don't have Mbemo now. Instead of maybe a 4-0 now.
Okay, then I will switch Eze to Mbemo.
Yeah.
Okay. Now there's
a problem.
That team is deadly. That team is deadly.
Yeah,
that team is deadly now.
Yeah, now that is the problem. So Taka, you have Kuna, right?
Ħafna, yeah, half right.
Yeah, and Manchester, that's a latest signing. So you
Yeah.
guys, you can't. That's why you guys paid how much? 75 million.
I'm not, but like, me now, I'm not an emotional person, right? I'm very objective.
No, I can get very emotional sometimes about players. But yeah, no.
No, but he did great. Honestly, he held that team. He was one of those standout guys too for Wolves.
I know, and Wolves proved me wrong. Like episode 1 this season, I was like, Wolves is going down. My goodness, they stepped up. They really proved me wrong.
Yeah.
Like I'm so amazed with the way they turn out, and
especially when they've been selling players from Pedro Neto. They've been like they keep selling.
Yeah,
and they just sold Kuna.
Wemo was something else this season, man.
Yeah.
Wemo was something else this season.
Brian Bemo.
Yeah.
So just for thought, is he going to Spurs or is he coming to Manchester? Thomas Frank has signed with Tottenham.
No, he's coming
using the father-son relationship.
I know Tottenham are trying to do what the strange thing is that they are paying more than the value.
Yes.
That's where they get some. But the question is, are they going to pay?
I don't think they're paying more than the value. 70 million pounds. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Go ahead, sorry.
But that's what. Now I'm talking about what was cost. Yeah, you can say that yesterday's price. The only reason that's not what was quoted from Wemo, right? Yeah, that was, so they are paying above what was quoted because they know they cannot match the salary. Yeah. So they're trying to push
Brentford to push the sale.
Brampton to accept their offer, and that puts Bremona in a difficult spot because they cannot afford to pay the salary that he's demanding.
Yeah.
But don't you think the father-son relationship is going to?
Oh yes, no. Trust me. Is it giving me sleepless nights? Absolutely, because Thomas Frank bought him in right.
Yeah.
He brought him in EPL, and he has coached him for the last how many years? They've been together for that long.
Yeah.
But before then, do you think before Buemo made that decision 2 weeks ago that he was coming to Manchester, Thomas Frank did not know that he was going to Tottenham? He knew because they already started having those conversations before they make that decision, right?
Yeah.
So many of those conversations have already happened in the back door.
Before they fired, before they made the manager.
Before they fired that guy.
Yeah.
Right in the summer, they've already taken their decision whether he wins the trophy or he doesn't win the trophy, they'll win. And they start reaching out to managers because managers have that leeway to do backdoor negotiations before it becomes public, right?
Yeah.
So I think that conversation has happened. When they asked Buemo where he prefers to go, Newcastle, Arsenal, Tottenham, or Manchester United, he preferred Manchester United because he has always loved Manchester United.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, just to comment from there, we will be bringing you the transfer details as they go on through the summer. We will bring you the next EPL 2025-2026 preview live from 𝐏𝐵𝐴 Talk Sports. All the important topics, the incoming transfer, the outgoing, Manchester, what are they looking for? Their ambitions, Chelsea Football Club, are we winning the Champions League or the EPL next year? Liverpool, will they be crowned champions for the second time in a row? We will bring you all that. But before we go, pundits, do you guys have anything for our fans?
Yes, I didn't actually include my manager of the season though.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So this is going to be controversial because a lot of Liverpool fans have always loved Klopp, and I told them that Klopp was a flop. And people were asking,
Klopp the flop.
Yeah, why
I'm gonna send it to Jovi.
Yeah, why is Klopp is a flop? I said that the team that Klopp had and the amount of time that he took to build his team and what he achieved, I think he didn't do enough for me. And we actually saw an example that somebody took that same team without making literally any change to the team and won the league. Right? So that's my own analysis, though. So Anslot was my manager.
Okay.
Taka, there's a saying, first time lucky, right?
Yeah.
You know that saying. I'm not contradicting by any way. There's a saying, first time lucky. So now Anslot has the money. He has the money to spend. Let him get his own players.
Yeah. Let's see what he does with
Let's see it. He has already started spraying.
Yeah.
Which is coming.
Yeah.
Guys are coming. So
170 million, man.
Yeah. It says spray money.
Yeah. So let us see him. And Pep Guardiola is about to tell him, I still own this country.
Yeah.
115 charges. He has already signed 5 players.
Yeah.
Yes. So Taka, do you have anything for our boys before we wrap up this episode?
No. Hey, our top sport, top talk show, man. Thank you for inviting us. Like, I'm really hoping that we'll do more of this. To bring insights into the Premier League and Champions League and more. So please subscribe to this channel. Like, comment, interact. We try to make it very conventional here and engaging. Ask questions, challenge me on Bruno being a flop. It's okay. I will defend my position. But please engage with us and have an amazing summer, everyone.
Mayor.
Yeah, thanks about Talk Sport. And all I pray for this show is let's not just end it in a local stage. Let's take this show in international level. I want to see that 5 years from now, about Talk Sport is not just being represented on this platform. We should be able to see Abakwa Talk Sport reporting from a World Cup stand and interviewing and talking to the big ballers around the world. It's just going to be hard, but we need to support. It's only us, the fans. Right, who can take Abakwa Talk Sport to that level. It's possible. We will do it if we subscribe, if we share, we like, we comment, we give our own feedbacks. We ask to be invited, and I believe that the management team, Balag, if you have an opportunity that you want to come and share with the team, please reach out to Balag, and they will invite you to come and give your own opinion. As long as you make sure that Bruno is not a flop, you're highly welcome.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
I'm not Bruno. I don't love Bruno though, but anyway.
I know all Manchester United fans, you have too much expectations from Bruno. You want to kill me that guy. Let him rest.
You heard it from the pundits. We're looking to take it to another level. We cannot do it without you, the fans and the supporters. We ask you, as Taka said, please, Odame, please click the like, the follow, the subscribe button, and we'll bring you many more episodes. Thank you and have a nice day. See you soon.